Hey traders, Mike Katz here with today's trader takeaways. Lots of crazy moves all over the place. SPYs were gapping down pretty big on more news that China is going to retaliate, and it didn't seem to care all day long. All they did was just buy them. Let's look at the chart here on the SPYs. You can see they just kept going up all day. As far as the daily goes, we're just still in this sideways grinder chop between 266 and 256 right now. Pretty big range, but a lot of, big down days, big up days, and today was no different. The market just shrugged off the bad news and went higher. Doesn't mean that we've put in a bottom. I don't know, it's possible. It looks like bad news was shrugged off. Yesterday we had an inside day, and the market just can't really go lower. And a lot of the tech names were in trouble last week or seem to be doing better. So for now, it looks like we might have put in some sort of a bottom. Let's see how long it lasts. So Spider, lots of action, lots of trend, lots of follow through. And today I was focused on spot all day. I was really zoned into this one. Yesterday traded as well. And basically what we had going on here was that the stock was weak. The stock was weak. If we can kind of get the thesis, the backdrop for the symbol, we know that there was an offering. We know that there are no underwriters, so they won't be supporting the stock. We also know that most of the company was brought public as opposed to traditionally where they usually bring a certain percentage of the float, 10-15% of the company comes out public. This time it sounded like it was 90%, so quite a bit of shares and no lockup period. And if you look at the filings, it looked like a lot of the stock by the employees was purchased at much lower prices. So it just felt like indiscriminate selling and just follow through from yesterday. So that was the plan, and traded it early. Let's see if I can punch up my Spotify. So Spotify, I kind of let it go up in the morning around the open and it went sideways here in consolidation. It was right below 145, so I put on a starter position, and if it was going to work I was going to add, and then I was going to give it $1 or so risk, 146, above 146, and if that was going to stop me out I was going to try to hit it at the 150 level, which was a pretty significant level from yesterday. So shorted, didn't do anything, started popping up. I added quite a bit more here right below 146, right below my stop. I was pretty much expecting the stock to stop me out, but it didn't. So from that point on, I already have a pretty decent sized position that I could trade around all day long, and that's what I did. So I would cover, quarter to a half on the dips, and then hit it again when it popped up, cover some on the dips, and when it felt weak I would just try to let it work, and then when it would pop up, give me an entry near a whole dollar, near double top, I would hit it again, size back in, and then again just rinse and repeat, and then just started getting rejected by previous lows. So the lows here rejected him here, so that was a good spot to add back, and then here also, these lows, when we broke below it, came back to test it, that was a good spot to add back, and so on and so forth. And then when it just got down here, it felt like it was accelerating to the downside, and I figured that I was going to now trail my stop to these highs here. And when it came back close to 137, I tried to put on a lot more size there, and very near my stop. And when that got taken out, I just took everything off here, which ended up being a really nice trade. And then out of nowhere, this thing just takes off to the upside, massive move up, and I pretty much was done with the symbol. I wasn't planning on trading it again, but I figured when it came up this much, this fast, I would take a shot at it here at 144 versus day highs, thinking that it would stall out here. So I put a little short feeler on here, and then when it came close to this level that I rejected in the morning. I put a lot more size on there, but then that got stopped out, so I was done with it. So I gave some back here, a little bit, not too much, but ended up being a really nice trader for me today. Spotify. We'll look how it behaves the next couple of days. Lots of interest, lots of volume, and good range. So this will be on my radar for a while. Another one that was working well today was TENX. And this one was a mover early. Just nonsense news that the something with the FDA that they were going to look at their phase 2 filing. Nonsense. Looking at the SEC filings, you can see that they filed the shelf yesterday, and randomly today it gets a pop, right? So it's obviously a troubled company that's just looking to unload some shares. And I was willing to join trend in the morning. Let me punch up TENX here. So I was willing to join trend in the morning, but looking at the daily, this thing basically I remember that every time it would pop up, 12.13 would top out once, twice, 3 times. It topped out at around $12. So I've had that number in mind, and when I started trading it, $9, $10, I was targeting that 12 area. If it was going to get through it, I was going to allow it to keep going. But looking at it here, had basically a dip to previous support here from these highs, bought a feeler here at 10, and then added quite a bit down here at 9, right above 9. If it was going to get below 9, I was going to get out, but basically got a nice pop off of $9, trimmed a little bit, trimmed some more, and put out a feeler to buy back some, and then realized that this thing was going to be done. It couldn't get back above that resistance that we saw on the daily. Was starting to get a hold of this, and the tape started saying that it was going to slow down. So I got out of the longs and basically put a short on. I wish I went a lot bigger, but it was a pretty decent sized position. And when it came down, instead of covering, I added more when it looked like it was weakening, and covered some more when it started cracking. And right here, took a little bit off, put a lot more back on here, and I was looking to add here at 850 when this base was going to break, and looking like a descending triangle, 850, but I couldn't get my add. I was like a split second too late, and the stock being as thin as it was, I couldn't really get any more shares off. So I was basically able to cover a little bit here on the close, and just get some easy covers back, and I still have some, see how it wants to behave for the next couple of days, but company doesn't look like it's a great stock. We'll see if we can get back to down here $5-6. And what else? LFIN had a quick release that their CEO is going to be on CNBC at 5 o'clock. We all remember LFIN. Not sure why, but it got a huge move off of that. I didn't trade this, but it'll be on my radar for the next couple of days, maybe after hours if it gets a move. But this has been a very thin one. Obviously, this stock that was, all that good news about going into the Russell and then not bringing it down quite a bit. I traded this on day one here when it went crazy, and I covered down here in the 35s. I wasn't doing anything as it was going up here. I missed out on a big move to the downside, but I didn't have a feel for it. Borrows are tough, and I figured I'd stay away from it. I did miss out on a big move to the downside, and I haven't really traded it since. So, but I have it on my radar, and basically this $30 level, which was resistance here, if for whatever reason it ends up getting back there, I'll take a look at it. Otherwise, I probably won't do much. But LFIN, the CEO, will be on TV. It's worth watching just for a laugh. He'll be really flustered. They'll give him a hard time, and maybe he'll shed some light on the SEC investigation and all that. So I'll be watching him at 5 o'clock, and I'll be watching the stock as well. So other than that, really nice day. Glad to be back in some good territory as far as P&L. And next couple of days, I'll be just looking to keep doing what I'm doing. Oh, one thing that has been working well for me the last couple of days, after having a rough day the other day, is I just took off my P&L window I made the window smaller, so I'm not looking at the P&L. I mean, I'm really good at math, so I kind of know where I'm at, but just, not looking at the P&L is allowing me to be more focused on trades today. And I think I'm going to keep that going for now. So that's been helpful. If you're struggling, if you see you're trading your P&L, if you're trying to get if you're trying to trade bigger size but you're running into some headwind, a lot of times what helps is minimizing that P&L window and just focusing on the trade. And that's it. That's all I got today. Thank you guys for watching. Mike Katz with 7 Points Capital with today's Trader Takeaways.